Hello, I'm Wamla and you're watching Hornbill TV. Wander Beyond Boundaries, with the support of Nagaland Tourism, is happy to embark on its second extreme terrain expedition through remote parts of Nagaland from 11 to 22nd October 2021. On this expedition, the convoy comprises of 8 capable expedition-ready 4x4 vehicles modified suitable for extreme off-road conditions. WBB uses the medium of extreme terrain by 4x4 travel to explore remote lands and its people in order to help discerning travelers recalibrate their own lens for life. Lock and Drum Nagaland is all set to facilitate this experience. Titled Lock and Drum Nagaland, the route traces some of the most nondescript but challenging mud tracks and roads across the state, traveling to some of the least explored and untouched areas in an effort to explore the land and its people. On this expedition, the convoy comprises of 8 capable expedition-ready 4x4 vehicles modified suitable for extreme off-road conditions. The route starts from Dimapur and take the road to Kohima via Newland and Zadima. From Kohima, the route heads to Lake Shiloi, further off-roads to Kifri, then to Twinsang. And finally, Mon. The flag off was done by advisor Tourism, Art and Culture, Khehovi, Yeputhomi. Let's get more detail on it.
So, ma'am, good morning first of all, and how are you feeling?
Super excited, raring to go now.
Okay. So, can you tell us more about this WBB?
We are primarily, we are pioneers in the field of extreme overland travel. So we use the medium of 4x4, our vehicles, to reach remote lands all over the world in order to not just drive but also explore the land and its people and culture. Primarily to also recalibrate our own lens for life. So it's also about using such travel to expand your worldview.
So, what do you expect from this expedition, 2021 expedition in Nagaland?
When we did the one in 2019, we'd done a recce, sati and self before that, and we had a brilliant time. The roads were fantastic by our measure because we are 4x4 drivers. We don't get such off-road elsewhere in the country. I think Nagaland is off-roader's delight, so to speak, and we loved it back then, and I'm sure it's going to be as exciting this time. We do have a lot more culture thrown in this time, so we are going to have many cultural experiences. We have 6 performances lined up by different tribes in different parts of Nagaland in remote areas, so we're quite excited about all of that.
So, ma'am, what about this WBB in Nagaland, this expedition? What about your partners or your sponsors for this expedition?
We are extremely grateful to Nagaland Tourism for having partnered on this one. Mr. Zimomi, I think a lot of credit goes to him because he saw our vision and he jumped, onto the bandwagon and shared the vision we had, to be able to explore this state because I for one truly believe that it's high time people started moving beyond Dimapur and Kohima. Nagaland is much more than that. The remote areas are spectacular. The people are super nice, warm and hospitable, and it's a traveler's destination, not a tourist, a traveler I mean. And what better mode than to get there using our 4x4s.
When was your last visit to Nagaland, or how many times have you visited Nagaland?
I have been coming here since 99.
Oh,
yeah.
99.
So it's 22 years now. I spent a couple of months in Dimapur itself, in Kohima, in some of the remote parts, and served almost about 3 years in Manipur. So that way I'm very well aware of the layout, the geography, the people, and how the conditions are. I've been here for...
So, you have already been here in Nagaland since 1999. You've already visited. What are the differences you are seeing here in Nagaland this time? Whatever differences.
I can see so much of traffic jams. There's so many more vehicles. The city itself has grown almost about 10 times the size that I saw it. like the railway station area was the only area which was kind of congested. Now it's the whole area is developed. You go going almost about 10 kilometers outside of this epicenter of Dimapur, and you find so much of construction going on. So it means that there is some amount of development. The roads are so much better. There's a national highway coming up. I remember in 2000 me coming by convoy from Imphal to Dimapur. It used to take 14 to 15 hours. Now I think you can do it in about 6-7 hours, 6 odd hours max. So that way the travel times have reduced drastically. Yeah. So a major difference is that.
Okay, sir, so what do you think of the food and you know, the people of Nagaland?
Amazing people, very hospitable, very large-hearted, I'd say. So we've interacted with people whenever we've come here. We were here about 2.5 years back. We went to the interiors. So we were interacting with the locals most of the time. And that is how the whole experience came about. And the idea of doing an expedition in Nagaland. Because we realized that the roads are of off-roaders' delight, as well as the kind of cultural experience that you get. For outsiders, people outside, they have kind of clubbed all the tribes into just one, that they are tribals. However, once you start looking at these minor differences, they have a whole new and different way of life. And I find that very amazing. One thing that I find a major difference between rest of the country and this area, the villages are so much more cleaner. The community hygiene of the people of Nagaland is amazing. I would say it is almost about 100 times better than the normal people who call themselves educated.
Sir, so can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Anurag Malik.
Yeah.
I am a travel writer from Bangalore, and we just write about destinations and such unique experiences.
Okay. So you know, like when it comes to the this WBB expedition, meaning to say it's the second expedition, right?
To Nagaland,
So, yeah.
yes.
So what do you expect from this second expedition?
Well, if you see, the normal route that you take from Dimapur to Kohima, you could do it in just 4 hours flat. But we are taking the road less traveled. We are actually taking, we're using the bad roads to our advantage because it makes perfect off-road, terrain. So we are taking the Newland route, and it is going to take us maybe 6 hours, maybe more. And then from Kohima, we leave very early at around 4, even before the roosters, give their call. We'll be leaving for Lake Shiloi, which is the largest natural lake in Nagaland. And it's again a very beautiful remote area of Nagaland. Not many tourists go there. And they'll be having a pochery performance there, some local food. So a lot of the places where we are staying are homestays, very local kind of hotels, but it's the best in the area. So it gives us a chance to connect with the people, understand how they live, what they eat, what are their, folklore, stories, song, dance, So I think it'll be a much more integrated trip this time, where we'll be spending a lot of time with different tribes of Nagaland.
Okay, so you visiting Nagaland, this is the third time then of,
Me
both
coming here.
WBB and you individually. So what do you think of, Nagaland, its people and the food?
Oh, it's wonderful, I mean, I eat everything, anything that moves, so they say. And here in Nagaland, they love their pork, they love their greens, the vegetables, they are steamed so nicely, So we have stayed in Konoma and Tufema and eaten a lot of the, the smoked pork, things like that. So we went to the Kida Bazaar in Kohima, and we wanted to eat, anything that was there, but they said, you can only buy it, we don't cook it and serve it, So, I mean, in terms of, the cultural aspect, we're really, keen that, we spend a lot of time with these different tribes. There's a lot of great handicrafts, which people can pick up. Like this cap that you see, this hat.
Where did you get it from?
This is from Longwa, and this is a cognac a hat. And I just, felt that, it was calling out to me. So I picked it up from the previous trip, and now it's become like my, headgear.
So, this being your second expedition, the WBB, do you have any plans of coming again in the coming years?
again and again, because what we're doing is essentially more or less the same route with a few new additions, but there's lots more in Nagaland, So we would love to kind of explore every little nook and corner, go to Wokha, go to, Zuku Valley, go to, Mokokchung, and, all those different areas that are there. So there are quite a few districts here, and we found that the people are extremely hospitable, they are really friendly, they are a proud martial race, they are very fiercely independent, but at the same time, they are also very giving, with their time, with the stories. Like in Nagaland, on a previous trip, we realized that, every stream, every mountain, every stone has got a story and a significance, So as travel writers, our objective would be to bring these stories out and popularize it to, the larger audience, and also explain to them that there is more to Nagaland than the Hornbill Festival.
Okay. So can you tell us your journey from all over from Delhi to this place? And I think I'm being monotonous here, but why Nagaland? And this many days, the third time, why Nagaland?
See, today we are living in a very interconnected world. People have a lot of access to information, through their smartphones and devices, and there are very few little secrets left in the world of travel today. But Northeast is a world full of potential and opportunity, because not every place has been covered in depth, even if you say Meghalaya, people go for the route bridges, or Molinong, the cleanest village, or Arunachal, there's rafting, but beyond the obvious, there are lots more little places still waiting to be discovered. Like for example, on this trip, we are passing through Futsero, which is one of the highest altitude towns in Nagaland. There are places where epic battles from the Second World War were fought. So there is a military history to the region, So the place is really significant. And the reason, I guess, Nidhi and Team WBB chose Nagaland was for the excellent off-road opportunities that it gives us, because it's hilly, it's got great slush, mud, rock, forest, which has got a good, and it's a kind of a compact state, You can cover a decent area in 10-12 days.
I'm Anil Relia.
I'm Tanuja Relia.
And we are coming to the Nagaland for the second time. 2018 we also came all the way with our own car from Ahmedabad to Nagaland.
So it was not under WBB, right?
Yeah.
No,
not WBB. That is
we have our own car, and we've been from Ahmedabad to whole Northeast.
whole India we crossed from west to east completely, and we came here. We spent almost around all 7 states, but we spent also Nagaland. Also, unfortunately, that time we wanted to go to the mall, and we couldn't go there because of the road, and our car was not the 4-wheel drive. We wanted to do that drive also, which is the head editor, and we couldn't do that. So this time again we joined the WBB and wanted to go to that also, and really we enjoyed it.
So, what's one thing you like about Nagaland? Because this is your second visit.
See, I'm one of my most passion is food also.
Oh, food.
Yes,
We both are foodie.
Very good.
So,
that
your
is-
favorite cuisine then?
Okay, everything. So even we had yesterday the curry, that was wonderful. So
Okay, yeah,
that's the thing also, and also the tribes, the internal tribe. Last time when we came, we stayed with the homestay. So there are local people with their stores. They were really wonderful. Rally in Nagaland. And I am civilian.
Shubha Patel, I am housewife.
Okay. So, this is your second visit then?
For me, this is the second visit. The first visit was the only day for a day.
What about you?
I accompany my husband. Only.
So, I've already asked that question earlier. What's one thing you like about Nagaland?
The first of the thing is the nature, natural people, very simple people. That's very beautiful about the
What about you, ma'am?
हिंदी में चलेंगे?
कुछ नहीं। हाँ।
जब हम छोटे थे तो पढ़ाई में आता था कि ऐसा देश है नागालैंड, मिजोरम, हाँ नेपाल, ये सब। तो हमने अभी सोचा भी नहीं था कि हम इतनी जल्दी ये सब ब्यूटी देख पाएंगे। और पीपल आर वेरी ब्यूटीफुल, हम्बल, एकदम केयरिंग नेचर।
My name is Dolly.
She's a doll, and I am her husband Nilesh from Bangalore.
I'm Priya Ganpati. I'm part of Red Scarab. Anurag and I are travel writers.
So all of you, this is not your first visit to Nagaland?
This is my first visit to Nagaland.
Yes.
First visit.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, this is first visit.
This being your first visit to Nagaland, how do you feel? And you know, like, what makes Nagaland different from the others?
We are very excited to be here. We're making some lovely friends here. Nagaland people are very friendly. The women are more stronger. Our wives are getting inspired. And I think that feels
And
good.
it's very clean and neat. Oh, really? Yeah, it is.
So we have seen the clean part of Nagaland. We haven't yet seen
The
the
muddy
other
part.
side, the muddy part.
We're going to get that.
We're going to get that.
Loads of that. It's my second trip here. I came here in 2009 and it was fascinating then. I'm sure it's going to be even more fascinating now because we're going to really remote corners. I covered Konoma and Tufema, Kohima, Dimapur, all of that. But there's so much to the food. There's lots more pork. I come from a pork loving region too. So this is definitely a plus point. But there's also the Naga chilies, the mushrooms, the bamboo shoot, all of that. So looking forward to all of it.
So we are vegetarians, but fortunately we're getting a lot of good vegetarian food as well. Like rice, dal, paneer, salads, everything. It's amazing. It's very nice. So far so good. I came here to lose a little weight. I hope I do.
So you know, like, how about other things as well? Like, even this expedition also, it's going to go on for 12 days expedition. So you know, like, any plans of like, because they're from outside, how about the Nagas within the Nagas themselves? How about an expedition like this and promoting the tourism in Nagaland?
You see this wonder beyond boundaries. This team are professionals and they travel all this metro just taking the expedition in extreme terrain areas. And in Nagaland, you see that we have many villages, traditional villages out there. We have scenic beauty in the villages. And all these villages and the places, it's a potential area, but people hardly go and visit all these places. So we want to let other people to come visit through these programs.
So you know, like, just a few weeks ago, the government of Nagaland also announced that we will be having the Hornbill Festival this year. So any, like, news on that or any updates on that or anything you want to tell people regarding these? How are we preparing? Have we started the preparation for this?
Yeah, definitely. We are mentally prepared for celebration of this Hornbill Festival because last year, because of this pandemic, tourism sector was badly affected and we did not physically celebrate this Hornbill Festival. But this time we are mentally prepared and we are going to celebrate with full SOP and we are expecting more tourists from outside. But that is, with full SOP period.
This was Hornbill TV speaking to advisor tourism, Sir Khehovi Yeputhomi, and he also said that he also spoke about this Hornbill Festival, saying that Hornbill Festival this year will go into a full swing with by following the SOPs, and also he also urged Hornbill TV Nagaland to stress on promoting tourism as well. This is it for now. I am reporter Khehovi with camera person Ketoleno for Hornbill TV.